What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, 40th day of 2019, up $3,365. Green is good. I had about 10 trades total, green on 9 out of 10, 90% accuracy. Really kind of cleans the slate, clears the slate from the losses last week. So I feel good about that. I am still red on the month. I've got a little bit of a hole to dig myself out of. Dropped down about $8,500. Well, probably with the loss on Thursday, about 9,000. So a pretty big drawdown, bigger than I'd like. Biggest one that I've had in probably 6 months, but it is what it is. Now I'm digging myself out, so making progress. The goal this week is just to try to be consistent, try to be green, focus on the best quality setups. The profits will follow. All right, now, special announcement. Tonight, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, both tonight and tomorrow night, we're leaving our futures room open. Steve is going to be in there guiding you guys through the futures market. So those of you guys who can't day trade from 9 to 4 because you're working, come and check out the futures room. All right, so members will have access. You go to the dashboard, log in the futures room. You'll be trading corn, soybeans, oil, natural gas, stuff like that. Futures market are 24 hours a day, so it really gives you guys an opportunity to trade in the evenings. All right, so hope to see lots of you guys in there for that, and everyone else, I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. But as usual, give me a shout out of what you traded today, the symbol, how much you made, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll come back through and answer them later this afternoon. All right, see you guys all later tonight, and then first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to do our midday market recap here, go over the trades from this morning. There's still, a couple stocks moving, but I'm feeling like I'm not going to push my luck. It's a green day. I'm up $3,365.76, and I should be happy with that and be done for the day. I'm not going to push my luck today. So, and really, overall today, we've definitely seen some action, mostly in Chinese names. JMU is moving up right now. This one, I only made $835 on. It made a big move, but when I first got in, it popped up to a high of 52. It got halted. It then resumed from the halt and dropped down to a low of 35. And so it dropped down. Looked like maybe it was done, and then it rips back up. So, I got back out of it basically break even, and then got back in as it started to move up, but, I couldn't really get a good low risk entry because it was just sort of running higher, and so overall kind of disappointing. And of course now seeing it here up almost $1 per share, but you never know which way it's going to go, and it could have gone either way. This one I'd watch 277 is the 200 moving average. Possible resistance at that level. The 5-minute chart, an ABCD pattern here for the break over 82, and that ended up giving us this nice squeeze up. So first pullback worked relatively well. It dropped all the way down to 88 here, but then ripped back up. So like I said, some good action, but not the absolute easiest. I'm only up $835 on it. CIFS, another Chinese one. This one currently is up, CIFS, 82%. So, big gap in this name, gap and continuation. So got a couple good trades on this. My first trade was at 497 right here. So as soon as the bell rang, I jumped in this one right here, 497, 498, 9,000 shares. Sold half, up 10 cents. Sold the rest 505, 503, 504. Boom, $800 in the first 20 seconds of the day. That's a great start to the day. And I was able, from that $800 starting point, build up my cushion a little bit more. I took trades on it on this little pullback right here. This didn't end up working out super well, but I did make a couple $100. Got myself from up 800 to up 1,100. And then we had another little pullback right up in this area. Through here we had the pullback. Right here we had a little pullback. And right here we had a little pullback. So a couple opportunities there. And then the last opportunity, or the last trade that I took on it, was a scalp right here. After it did this breakout, which I missed, I then bought the first pullback. So $1,700 on CIFS. Right now it has consolidation and a pivot around 630. So if it broke over 630, I would expect a break of 644. But let's look at the volume today, 27 million shares. So this is a stock that's got a bit of tug of war. You know, the long side traders, the short sellers, battling it out. And, you know, right now the long side traders, I suppose, are dominating, given that it's up 85%. But it's been choppy, popping up, dropping down, up and down, up and down. And that type of action is a little more difficult to trade. BPTH, up $1,100 on it. The only trade that I took was a quick little red to green move, which was right here. Bought the first candle as it started to go green, and boom, you see that move. This was a red to green move from $6.56 all the way up to $7. So that's a 44-cent red to green move. I only took 6,000 shares, but I was able to scale out with $1,100 of profit. So a nice trade on that one. Ended up retracing, pulling back, and then out of nowhere, you know, boom, squeezing up and getting halted. So made this big move here, but I just didn't want to push my luck on it, and you know, that one came back down. So CIFS and BPTH and JMU, all three of these were on watch this morning on our scans. So JMU, you know, my first entry was $1.39, added into the halt, got my average up to $1.44, and then ended up selling at break even, only to watch it rip up to $1.90. So, you know, super frustrating, but at the same time, you know, I have to keep my stops super tight, and I wasn't going to let it go red on me because, yes, you know, I was already green on the day. I wasn't going to give it up. So kept a tight stop, got right back out of it, and then it goes and, you know, is up almost $1 per share for my initial entry here. But, you know, if it's not breakout or, you know, breakout or bailout, it's got to either go or I'm going to step back. And then this one I ended up stepping back and not doing as well in it as I could have, but that's all right. You know, green is good. And then GLG was a stock off the high day momentum scanner. That one obviously is my only loser today. You can see it lighting up the scanner here, 94, 95, 96. I jumped in it. It pops up to a high of 98 and then dropped all the way down to 68. That's what we call a false breakout. I took the $400 loss on it. So we'll finish today up $3,365. A green day. That's what I wanted. You know, that's after having a red day on Friday. My only goal today was to be green, and I achieved the goal. So I'm going to put it in my calendar, 3.3K, and today is the 40th day of the year. Unfortunately, I am still red on the month of March. You know, I'm still down about $5,000. So, you know, I put myself a little bit in the hole here. I've got to dig myself out of it, and that's, you know, that's the way it goes. I was just really aggressive on Friday. I was kind of swinging for a home run. I think I was hoping that, you know, I would, you know, maybe I would get a $15,000, $20,000 day, maybe even a $30,000 day, and boom, you know, cross over that $1 million mark in this small account challenge. And I ended up getting myself, you know, into a little bit of a, you know, a pickle with a good size loss. So that's okay. I mean, you know, it's not okay. It's not great, but it's something I can recover from. It's nothing that hasn't happened to me before. But, you know, someone asked me on YouTube, in the YouTube comments, how I felt about being, you know, discouraged from trading by friends and family and stuff like that. Because when I was getting started, a lot of people were really skeptical. You know, they were like, you're going to day trade? You know, how is that different from playing online poker, online gambling? You know, are you just going to gamble your life savings? Are you know, going to be successful? I mean, you know, you hear about people who make money and then they give it all back. And, you know, there was a lot of skepticism around this decision to start trading. And I think what kept me motivated through that was continuing to see people. And so hopefully I can be that person for you guys who are doing this consistently. And, being a consistently successful trader is not about not losing. It's not about never having a loss, but it's about keeping the losses manageable and bouncing back from them, and having a system where you know how to manage your risk and you know your upside potential. And once you have those things dialed in, success follows. As a beginner trader, no doubt I lost more than I'd like to have, and I lost more often than I made money, simply because I didn't know how to manage risk. I didn't have a good strategy for how I would trade the market. I would just buy a stock like this right here at 33. And you know what? In this case, maybe it'll work. But, more often than not, when you're buying stocks at the highs like this, you're positioning yourself with more downside risk than upside potential. And, the biggest thing that's a struggle in the market is that sometimes you get positive reinforcement for negative behavior. So negative behavior would have been buying that at 33, as they hit high of day. That's a bad entry. It's high risk. But positive reinforcement is when you end up selling it at 45 or 50 because it ended up going green anyways. And that's something that can be really bad, in terms of trying to build good habits. The fact that the market will sometimes reward you for doing the wrong thing. And sometimes it'll punish you for doing the right thing. And at the end of the day, it's all just a matter of statistics. If you follow your rules, sometimes, you'll do the right thing, which is stop out, and you'll end up seeing the stock run without you, and you're like, man, I followed my rules, and I still am the guy who lost money on this stock that's up, 140% today. But that's okay, because if you really have confidence in your system and you've got the historical track record to back it up, you know that, you'll have a couple red days, you'll have a couple times where the market does these false breakouts, boom, there's that 30,000 share seller, and this is going to dip down here. So, you see it right there, 36,000 shares at 32. You're going to have days where it doesn't work, but over the long period of time, you'll be profitable because you follow your rules. And so I think that getting discouraged by friends and family, it's obviously because they care about you and they don't want to see you, do something where you're going to lose money. And they know the statistics, which is that most traders lose money. And that's true. And what separates us from the rest of those traders? What are you going to do that's different from the 90% of traders out there that are losing money? So, that's where we try to give you an edge in the market by giving you a strategy that has a track record of being successful, verified, profitable, by empowering you with the strategy, the rules, the right tools, and everything else. It doesn't mean you won't have red days from time to time. I'm in a little bit of a rut here. I had a red week last week, first red week of 2019. This week, probably at best, I'll get myself out of the hole from last week and, basically get a second chance at starting over the month of March, 3 or 4 days into it. I'm still red, 5,000 on the month, which is disappointing versus my $40,000 goal. So now I've got to make 45,000 to hit my goal. But at the same time, some months are going to be a little slow, and I've just got to be okay with that. But even after doing this for as long as I've done it, it doesn't mean you're not going to have red days. And they happen on all scales. And you can look at time. I mean, we talk about Bill Ackman losing $4 billion on Valiant. That was obviously something that was really pretty. What's the ticker for Valiant? I thought it was VRX. Valiant ticker. Let me see. I didn't. Did they end up getting bought by someone, or? Now I'm not sure. VRX. But I mean, you can see it at BHC. Yeah. So, is this the same stock though? No, it looks like they were bought out or something. Yeah. So, well, in any case, you see it happen on all scales. I mean, that's a hedge fund trader losing $4 billion. Everyone has losses. He's still a billionaire. He's still really successful, and I'm sure he'll continue to be successful. losses happen, and they happen on every scale, whether you're a trader that trades with, a $2,000-$3,000 account, or you're a hedge fund trader with, 15, 20, $30 billion account. Losses happen. And, like I said on Friday, trying to be a trader and not taking a loss is like trying to be a boxer and never getting punched. It's just not going to happen. So you need to learn to take those hits, not let them rattle you too much, and get back up, keep fighting, follow your rules, and have that discipline. So, I really encourage you guys to attend the Monday mindfulness sessions every Monday at 8 a.m. We have our in-house trading therapist host those. Ted hosts them on Mondays at 8 a.m. And then Fridays, 3 p.m., FOMO Fridays, where, last Friday was a great opportunity for you guys to join FOMO Friday and, talk about how you're feeling and get an actual therapist giving you feedback on, what it's like to go through those struggles. He was my trading coach, or still is my trading coach. We had a session on Friday, and he really helped me overcome some of those struggles. At a certain point, I realized, being a successful trader, I had all the tools, all the skills, all the strategies, and the only thing still standing in my way was my emotions, the way I would react to loss, the way I would sometimes get impulsive and aggressive. And it still happens sometimes. It's, it is human nature. So our natural instincts don't always serve us well in the market. In fact, our natural instincts for 90% of traders will not serve you well. That's why 90% of traders lose money. So, finding a system where you are able to have those natural instincts, because you can't suppress them. They're going to happen. But where you choose not to act on them, that's like next level. And as much as I try to be there, sometimes I, have a little setback. And I did last week. I got a little frustrated after having a couple red days, having this big goal of 100K in February, this big goal of crossing the $1 million line in the sand. And then, whatever, it happened. So I step back, I, get centered, focused, readjust, reevaluate. And no doubt, the last couple weeks being sick, being under the weather has been, probably one of those things. Every day that I come into the market, I have a tank of mental capacity. That's my mental capacity to override the impulses. And some days I come in with only half a tank. Maybe it's because I didn't sleep well. Maybe it's because, had a problem with the car on the drive down, or maybe it's because the dog, spilt, something all over the kitchen floor. Any number of things result in coming into the market with half a tank. And if you're not aware of that, then suddenly at 10 a.m., when usually you're still going strong, you start getting, impulsive and making some really questionable decisions, not realizing that, you came into the market with a short fuse or with a half tank. And for me, being sick, being under the weather, that's certainly one of them. The pressure that I put on myself to try to achieve, pretty big goals, and to do it in front of, tens of thousands of people, that makes the tank and the fuse that much shorter. So, we all have these things in different scales that certainly contribute to your day. So, it's just a good idea when you sit down to take that few minutes that we do on Mindful Monday, to do that every day as part of your routine. Go through that checklist. Did you eat well? Did you sleep well? What's the condition of the overall market right now? How are the stocks behaving? Is this the day to be aggressive? Is this a day to be a little bit more conservative? And sometimes, it's just simply a day to bring down the share size. As much as you might love to hit the market with big size, whatever that means for you, this might just not be the day to do it. Well, today, fortunately, I came out green. $3,600 or $3,300 is a great day. I'm happy with that. It's above my daily average. And, a couple more days like this, be smooth sailing, be able to put that loss from last week behind me, and, just keep my eye on the horizon. But, that's kind of that mentality. Think of a boat on the ocean. You're going up the waves, and then you're going down. When you're going down, if you're just staring right into the water, everything is doom and gloom, and you start to get emotional and impulsive, and you got to keep your eye, you keep that level kind of set, eye on the horizon. You will get through this. For those of you guys that are red on the year, red on the month, whatever the case may be, stay focused on, the big picture. The day you finally become consistent, nothing from before matters, because you're making 200 a day, and 200 a day is 50,000 a year. And the only difference between 200 a day and 400 a day is increasing your share size. So it's just the day you figure that out, you're good. So each day is the next opportunity to come into the market, be focused, and just try to put together as many green days in a row as possible. And next thing you know, you've got 5 green days in a row, 10 green days in a row, 11, 12, 14, 15, and it's like, wow, okay, I'm 3-4 green weeks in a row. I'm doing it. That's progress. So reminder for those of you guys, especially rewatching this on Facebook or on YouTube, tonight from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. we're leaving the futures chat room open. Futures markets are 24 hours a day, and we've gotten a lot of feedback from traders who have been in the futures room, who love the futures room and are saying, hey, I'm working from 9 to 5. I really can't day trade the stocks that Ross is trading during the day. I would love to be able to participate in this futures market. So check out the futures room tonight, 9 to 11. Steve will be running it. I'll be logged in there. We'd love to see you guys, getting in there, enjoying it, checking it out. Is there a little bit of a learning curve to it? Yeah, sure. But here's the nice thing. There's no PDT rule, and it's a 24-hour market. So you can trade it wherever your time zone is. You want to trade for 2 hours after you get home from work, you can do it. Sit down, look for opportunities, take a couple trades. All right, so hopefully I'll see you guys there tonight, 9 to 11. Show Steve a really good turnout, get him excited, make sure he wants to keep doing this. And so that'll be tonight, 9 to 11. And I will see all of you guys back here tomorrow morning, for my regular routine, 9:15, live streaming on YouTube, our little pre-market watch list, and then we'll start trading as soon as the bell rings. All right, everyone, so have a great afternoon. Hopefully I'll see you guys tonight for our futures trading session at 9 o'clock. All right, bye, everyone. If you're still watching, you must have really enjoyed that video. So why not subscribe and get email alerts anytime I upload new content? Remember, when you subscribe, you become a member of the Warrior Trading family.